Christmas is approaching. Malfoy teases Harry about having to stay at Hogwarts for the holiday, as he does not have parents. Harry, however, is looking forward to spending Christmas away from the Dursleys, especially because Ron is also staying at Hogwarts. The day before vacation, Hermione tears Ron and Harry away from a conversation with Hagrid to look in the library for more information about Nicholas Flamel. The librarian catches Harry prowling around the restricted section of the library and kicks him out. On Christmas Day, Harry and Ron awaken to presents, though Harry's are fewer. Harry receives candy and a knitted sweater from Ron's mother. He also receives an invisibility cloak accompanied only by an anonymous note telling him that the cloak once belonged to Harry's father. That night, after a satisfying Christmas dinner and after Ron has fallen asleep, Harry tries on his invisibility cloak. Unseen, he is able to go to the library's restricted section. But one of the books starts screaming when he opens it, so he quickly leaves. He passes Filch and hides in an old classroom marked with an inscription that includes the word, Erised. Inside stands an old mirror. Harry looks in the mirror and sees many people standing behind him, but when he turns around in the room, he sees no one. Suddenly, he recognizes that two of the people in the mirror are his dead mother and father. He tries to speak to them, but they can only communicate by waving. Harry lingers there a while but eventually returns to his room. The next night, Harry brings Ron with him to the mirror room. Ron does not see Harry's parents in the mirror, but instead sees himself holding a Quidditch cup. Mrs. Norris, Filch's prowling cat, notices them. On the third night, Ron is afraid of being caught and does not want to go back, so Harry returns alone. There he finds Albus Dumbledore. Dumbledore explains to Harry that the mirror displays the deepest desire of whoever looks into it. Harry is relieved to find that Dumbledore is not angry. Harry heeds Dumbledore's advice to stop visiting the Mirror of Erised. After Christmas break, Harry, Ron, and Hermione resume their search for Nicholas Flamel, though Harry's time is increasingly consumed by Quidditch practice. At practice one day, Harry learns that Snape will be refereeing the next game. He and his friends wonder whether Snape might try to harm Harry during the game. As they are talking, Neville hops by. Malfoy has cast a spell on him that has locked his legs together. Harry tells Neville that he needs to learn to stand up to Malfoy. Neville turns to leave, but not before giving Harry a famous wizard card for his collection. Suddenly, Harry remembers where he has seen the name Nicholas Flamel before, on the back of the Albus Dumbledore famous wizard card that Ron gave him on the train trip to Hogwarts. Hermione runs to her room to get a book informing them that Flamel, once Dumbledore's partner, was the only wizard ever to make a Sorcerer's Stone. They learn that the Sorcerer's Stone transforms any metal into gold and produces an elixir of everlasting life. Harry and his friends conclude that the fierce dog on the third floor must be guarding Flamel's stone. Harry's nervousness grows as the big Quidditch match approaches. If Gryffindor wins, it will take first place in the House Championship. But Harry is concerned about Snape's evil plans. His fears are allayed when he learns that Dumbledore will be at the game, because Snape would never commit any wrongdoing in front of Dumbledore. In the game, Harry catches the golden snitch within the first 5 minutes, and the crowd roars. Dumbledore congratulates Harry for this astonishing feat. Afterward, Harry notices Snape heading off into the forest. He flies to follow him and hears Snape talking harshly in the forest to Professor Quirrell and mentioning the Sorcerer's Stone. As Easter approaches, Hermione begins to worry about exams, while Harry and Ron merely try to keep up with the tremendous amount of homework assigned. One day, Hagrid comes upon them studying in the library. They bombard him with questions about the Sorcerer's Stone. He invites them to come and talk to him later but says he does not promise that he will reveal anything. They visit Hagrid's hut later, and Hagrid tells them he does not know what else is guarding the stone besides the three-headed dog. He does tell them which teachers cast spells to guard the stone. He adds that he will never give out any information on how to bypass the dog. Hagrid shows the students a dragon egg that he won in a poker game the previous night. Dragons are illegal, but Hagrid wishes to raise one anyway. Later, Harry gets a note saying the dragon egg is hatching. Excitedly, he and his friends rush over to Hagrid's to watch the dragon's birth. The children realize that Hagrid must get rid of this dragon, which Hagrid names Norbert, before he grows too big. They decide to write to Charlie, Ron's older brother, who is studying dragons in Romania. Charlie agrees to help them and arranges for them to meet some of his friends to take the dragon away. The plan is set for the children to meet Charlie's friends at midnight one Saturday atop the tallest tower of the castle. They take the invisibility cloak and sneak up carrying Norbert. Charlie's friends come and take the dragon away. As they descend from the tower, they forget to wear the invisibility cloak, and Filch catches them. Filch takes Harry, Hermione, and Ron to Professor McGonagall's office to be punished. She accuses them of concocting the whole dragon story to lure Malfoy out of bed and get him into trouble. As punishment, McGonagall deducts 50 points from Gryffindor for each of the 3 wrongdoers. Harry is horrified that his house will lose 150 points. When the bad news is circulated the next morning, Harry quickly falls from his pedestal as Quidditch star. He considers resigning from the Quidditch team, but Wood convinces him that doing so would be useless. Harry resolves not to get involved in any more suspicious activities, but a week later he overhears a conversation in which Quirrell appears to give in to someone, presumably Snape, as if Snape is pressing him to do something. Harry and his friends try to figure out what to do, but they cannot come up with a plan of action. Harry, Hermione, and Neville are told to report to Hagrid that night for their detention. When they show up, they are surprised to find that detention will be held in the surrounding Forbidden Forest. Malfoy, who has also been given detention, objects to being forced outside like a servant. Hagrid points to some traces of unicorn blood on the ground and explains that they will be going into the forest to find out what has been harming the animals. They split up into 2 groups. Harry and Hermione with Hagrid, Neville and Malfoy with Hagrid's dog, Fang. They penetrate deep into the forest. Harry sees signs that the other group is in trouble, but Hagrid discovers that Malfoy has merely been playing tricks on Neville. Hagrid sends Harry off with Malfoy, taking Neville along with himself. Harry and Malfoy come across a mysterious cloaked figure drinking the blood of a recently killed unicorn. Malfoy and Fang run away, leaving Harry alone. A centaur named Firenze rescues Harry and carries him back to Hagrid. On his way back, Harry learns that the cloaked figure was Voldemort and that he was drinking unicorn blood to sustain himself until he could obtain the Sorcerer's Stone. The year-end examinations go off without a hitch, although Harry fears that Voldemort will burst through the door at any second. While he is a guest at Hagrid's, Harry learns that while drunk and playing cards, Hagrid revealed to Voldemort that anyone can get past the 3-headed guard dog, Fluffy, by playing music to him. Harry and his friends rush to find Dumbledore to tell him this news, but they run into McGonagall, who informs them that Dumbledore has been called off to London by the Ministry of Magic. Harry convinces Hermione and Ron that they need to grab the stone that night. As they are heading out, Neville tries to stop them. Hermione immobilizes him with a spell, and they proceed. When they reach Fluffy, Harry, Hermione, and Ron notice a harp by his feet and realize that someone has already passed by Fluffy. Harry plays a flute he has brought, putting Fluffy to sleep and allowing his gang to go through the trapdoor. They land on some sort of plant with twisting tendrils that wrap around Harry and Ron. Hermione gets out immediately and uses fire from her wand to stave off the plant. Next, they encounter a large locked door in a room full of birds that are actually keys. Harry uses his Quidditch skills to catch the right bird and unlock the door. They then must play a violent game of chess in which each of them is a chess piece. Ron masterfully leads them through the game, but he must allow himself to be captured, and severely beaten, by the opposing queen to win. Harry and Hermione then come upon a series of potions and a logic puzzle. Hermione figures out which potions to drink and then goes back to help Ron, while Harry moves forward to find the stone. Harry lies, telling Quirrell that he sees himself in the mirror winning the House Cup for Gryffindor. Voldemort tells Quirrell that Harry is lying. Wishing to speak directly to Harry now, Voldemort tells Quirrell to unwrap his turban. Harry is shocked to find Voldemort's face on the back of Quirrell's head. Voldemort is a shapeshifter and has been using Quirrell's body. Voldemort tries to persuade Harry to give him the stone, which he knows is in Harry's pocket. He tells Harry to join him rather than resist and be killed like his parents. Harry refuses and Voldemort orders Quirrell to seize Harry. Quirrell tries, but each time he grabs for Harry, his hand blisters as if burned. Harry grabs Quirrell, putting him in tremendous pain. Meanwhile, the pain in Harry's forehead scar is steadily increasing. As the struggle intensifies, Harry feels himself losing hold of Quirrell and falling. When Harry regains consciousness, Dumbledore is standing over him. Harry starts telling Dumbledore that Quirrell has the stone, but Dumbledore tells him to relax. Harry realizes that he is in the hospital. He asks Dumbledore again about the stone and Dumbledore tells him that he arrived just in time to save Harry from Quirrell. Dumbledore adds that he spoke with Nicholas Flamel and they decided to destroy the stone. He explains also that Quirrell could not touch Harry because Harry was protected by his mother's love. Dumbledore also reveals that it was he who left the invisibility cloak for Harry and explains that there was enmity between Snape and Harry's father, much like the enmity between Malfoy and Harry. Furthermore, Dumbledore explains how Harry ended up with the stone. Harry was the only one who wanted to find the stone for itself rather than for what the stone could obtain. Harry gets out of his hospital bed to go to the end-of-year feast. The dining hall is decorated in Slytherin colors to celebrate Slytherin's 7th consecutive win of the Championship Cup. Dumbledore rises to speak and announces that in light of recent events, more points need to be given out. He awards Ron and Hermione 50 points each and Harry 60 points for their feats in getting to the stone. Gryffindor thus pulls into a tie with Slytherin. Dumbledore then adds that Neville has been awarded 10 points for learning bravery. Gryffindor pulls ahead into first place, thus winning the House Cup. When school grades finally arrive, Harry and Ron do well, and Hermione is at the top of the class. They all pack and head to the train station to go back to their homes. Harry, Hermione, and Ron say their goodbyes for the summer, and Harry heads home, eager to use a little magic on Dudley Dursley. And thus ends Harry's unforgettable first year at Hogwarts, filled with friendship, courage, and the first taste of a destiny far greater than he ever imagined. The journey has just begun. If you enjoyed this magical tale, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to DesiPotter for more. Until next time, mischief managed.